Hi, I'm Dietitian Jill Place. Welcome to my office. And not only am I Dietitian Jill Place, today I was dubbed by Michael Hoffman of Oxford Biotechnology, the people who do my food sensitivity testing, the queen of leaky gut. So here I am, and I have my bejeweled robe and my pearls, and I even have my scepter and orb. So who am I really? Besides being the queen of leaky gut, I am a dietitian and a certified clinical nutritionist. I specialize in something called functional medicine, which treats dysfunction before it becomes disease. Some people call it alternative medicine. I help solve unsolvable health puzzles, which means that I'm looking more from the autoimmune, candida, parasite focus than using a pill to heal a symptom. And I do believe that health starts in your gut, so that's why I am the queen of leaky gut. So anyway, that's why I'm interested in leaky gut. I'm not only the queen, I'm also a leaky gut survivor. And so I'd like to tell you my story. Well, you might want, well, first of all, you might want to know what leaky gut is. You've probably seen it talked about a lot in different places around the internet, and I definitely get a lot of views to my Pinterest pins and my blogs about leaky gut. So let me kind of explain it very quickly. When I'm talking about your gut, I'm talking about your small intestine, not your big intestine. And I don't know if you can see this picture, but basically this is a good gut, and the good gut has lots of friendly bacteria. It has really tight cells. It has lots of great things going on. These are also called villi, these little, they're like little soldiers that stand up in the back, and actually your nutrients get absorbed there. So this is what a leaky gut looks like if you can see it. We have not little tight cells, but little places where things which couldn't get into your bloodstream, because remember, when you have these are called tight junctions because they're tight. These are loose junctions. They're not actually called loose junctions, but what ends up happening is that there becomes a little hole where things can get into your bloodstream that shouldn't be there. And what happens when that happens? Also, there's an overgrowth, if you can see. Now, no one has this gut because they'd be dead if they had it. But there's an overgrowth of all this bad bacteria, yeast, molds, again, candida. Candida is actually a good thing for us. We have it naturally, but when we have leaky gut, we have more candida. It becomes overgrown. Not only that, I don't know if you knew, you may know because you watch Dannon commercials, but Activia commercials, but 60 to 70% of our immune system is in the gut. So when you have a gut that looks like this, it's like goodbye immune system. Anyway, also the little villi, the little fingers that stick up and help absorb nutrients, become what we call blunted. So you can't absorb nutrients as well. And what happens is a lot of stuff. Number one, you get too fat. Number two, you don't get fat. Lots of things. This is a very complex thing. I'm trying to simplify it as much as possible. Okay? So that's leaky gut in a gut shell. Anyway, so what's my story? Well, okay. My story, I'm kind of like, oh gosh, I'm telling you my story. Water break. Anyway, my story is about a little girl searching. No, I'm kidding. Um, I used to be an actor, and I love old movies. That Side of a Star is Born. Just forget about it. Anyway, my story. I'm procrastinating, so I really need to talk to you about this. This is what happened to me. I had a doctor who gave me an IUD. In those days, they were all the rage, you know, a gynecologist who gave me an IUD, which is a birth control device. And in those days, they were the hot new thing, and everybody wanted one because it just seemed to be an easier way to manage birth control. Well, mine, from the minute I got it, was a problem. It was a problem. It was a problem. There were massive infections many times, and the doctor kept prescribing these higher and higher and higher and higher doses of antibiotics. So I took them for a year, and as a result, I ended up with leaky gut. You know, I'm sure it didn't look like this, but really what ended up happening, you know, was those junctions that are so solid on this picture, the good gut picture, relaxed. Stuff got into my bloodstream that shouldn't have been there. My immune system was shot, and I got very sick. Not only did I get sick, I had all of these horrible symptoms, you know, belching, you know, not being able to digest my food, and just feeling sick, sometimes, you know, horrible reflux disease. I don't know if you've experienced that, but it can be very, 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 very upsetting, and you don't know what to do, and you want to take an Alka-Seltzer or something, but it doesn't seem to solve the whole problem. So it was a very, very long struggle for me. I didn't know what to do, and I've always been interested in food. And on and off was a vegetarian and dabbled with it. I was a chef at one time, a whole food chef. But nothing seemed to really be helpful. And, you know, as a young person, I really kind of passed it off and went, yeah, I'm busy doing other things. I don't want to do that. So what ended up happening was I actually met Harvey and Marilyn Diamond, the people who wrote Fit for Life, which is a book that it's a food combining book. It's about food combining, which is a very old idea, but I've got very closely aligned with them, and I did 2 huge seminars for them that I ran in LA. I saw people who were ill, really ill, go on their food plan, which is really a modified food plan, and get well. So I started looking at what was that, and how did that fit to me, and what did I need to learn about this? Because I was suffering. I started the problem in my early 20s. And by the way, my doctor, to backtrack, said that I'd have to have a hysterectomy. I was 26. I said no. Thank goodness I said no. I still have all my parts to this day. That was so scary. So back to the diamonds. So I started running these seminars for them, and I started seeing these people really get well just by changing their diet, and started thinking, well, gee, do I want to have a career in this? Do I want to have a career in nutrition? And what kind of a career do I want to have? Because um, there only seemed to be one out there. It was either, at that time, it was either Lunatic Fringe, which was kind of where the diamonds were coming from, or registered dietitian or something like that. So I went back to school. I became a registered dietitian in my 40s, which was really interesting. Going back to school in your 40s after you've been an actor and an arts administrator, and I was going to teach acting, and then I did a 180 and did this. But that's what I did. I went back to school and became a registered dietitian. So when I started working as a registered dietitian, I began to realize that there was a real difference between the medical model, that have a symptom, take a pill model. Not that it's bad, it works for a lot of people. And what I really wanted to do, which was to heal people like the diamonds had. So I began to explore alternative ways to do that. And I got connected to a lot of alternative. Well, when I was with the Diamonds, because I was aligned with them, I met a lot of different people who did a lot of different alternative things. I mean, they're still around, some of them today, like Alan Goldhammer, who has an amazing fasting institute up in Northern California, and he's one that's still around. Wonderful guy, and amazing work he does. So, but I began to realize that really wasn't my path. I really needed to go the other way. Okay. So what did I do? I began to research more about what could work to heal my leaky gut, because I still had it. I still had it. And, so I found food sensitivity testing, and I thank Michael Hoffman at the beginning of this video, and I did LEAP mediator release testing, and became a practitioner of LEAP, and it changed my life, because I didn't tell you the whole story about my story. Because I had leaky gut, I had horrible constipation my whole life. And I took first laxatives, and and I started studying supplements. I switched to magnesium, and I switched to other things, and I still do occasionally, but it's so interesting. I did the food sensitivity and testing on myself. I went on the program, and within 10 days, my constipation went away. It went away. And it was kind of amazing, because by that time I was already back to school in my 40s, blah, 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 blah. I'd been practicing for a while. I was probably in close to 60. And you realize that I'm having this problem for 40 years or 35 years. So what ended up happening was I went deeper into it. I started researching more. And now today, I avoid gluten and dairy. I even wrote a book about gluten. It's called Gluten Free in 5 Days. It's on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon. Hint, hint, plug. And dairy was recent, within the last year. And it's just been an amazing journey for me. I also do supplements, and have learned a lot about supplements. About 20 years ago, in the dietitian community, I was known as the Supplement Savvy RD, and even wrote a book on it. So that's my journey. And today, where I'm at today with leaky gut, I'm in my 70s now. So I have some issues, but I am so much better today. I realized so much that my struggle was about diet, about antibiotics, about um, food sensitivities. And I do believe that we need to start with our gut. We need to start with our gut because, as you saw in this picture, if we don't have a good gut, that's kind of the end of it. Then what ends up happening is our immune system gets affected, our we become autoimmune, um, and we're in for a lot of problems, like I had my whole life. So I'd love to talk to you more about that. My website is www.healyourhealthnow.com. There are lots of articles on leaky gut there. And I also have I have a $47 get acquainted initial consultation that you can do with me, where you fill out a questionnaire and we talk for 30 minutes, and it becomes very laser focused about what you need to do about your health. Because remember something, everybody's different. My leaky gut is not your leaky gut. We all approach this in different ways. Mine was antibiotics, yours could be something else. And my bottom line is I just wanted to heal you. So please contact me. My email is jill@healyourhealthnow.com, and my 800 number is 833-YOU-HEAL. That's 833-YOUHEAL. And I'd love to hear your leaky gut story. So please, by all means, drop me a line, give me a call. Let's talk about leaky gut. So here is the queen of leaky gut signing off, and thank you so much for listening.